what time it is. Marvin Devine, Hoover, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Hoover, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah.
Brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep waves by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is.
Hey, Lolo. What I don't understand is you said that you've been on dialysis for a minute. So why you don't know nothing about dialysis? Any sickness that you have, you need to be educated about it. What was last month? Okay, I'll give you a little test. What was last month? Last month was Kidney Awareness Month and Women's Month. Whoop, whoop. Okay. What about this month? No, see, no. It's Donors Month this month. You got to get with the program. Come on, they got transplant games. They got stuff, different events for us, stuff that we can learn and know, be emailed, sent to us. We can get more involved. Don't you want to get involved? I should have wore this bracelet. Girl, you stressing me out. I need my kidney stress ball. You gotta try and you gotta get with this because it's very important. If you want to have something to say about your illness, you gotta know what you're talking about. And you gotta get with your team and the doctors and stuff like that. All right, so I know one thing. I gotta go because my favorite show is coming on. I love this woman. She's crazy. She's the dialysis whisperer, the transplant mama, and all that kind of stuff. She's mad, hip, cool. Woo, what? Well, because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in a kidney world. Happy Easter Resurrection Sunday. How you guys are doing? Pardon my voice. I'm still healing. I'm still getting myself better, and the back is acting up. And I got to get a procedure done on this Tuesday. So y'all make sure y'all pray for me. All right. I know y'all will because y'all sending nothing but love. Now, I want to tell you something about my guest. But before I do, you know I got to give you that scripture, don't I? This God is our God, all right, forever and ever. And he will be our guide until the end. That's Psalm 48:14. That's right, okay? I'll give you the resource after I interview my guest, and I will give you next week's person. Well, at this moment, I got a real jewel in the gem. That's right. A great man, a type of warrior that's been in the army, a creative man, a father, a husband, you know, a guy on a mission. He has his own plan to help people that don't have a kidney, that need a kidney, gets a kidney. How about that? But let me get one of them Brown brothers. I love them both. But this one here is Jeffrey A. Brown. Welcome to the Lisa Baxter Show. Jeff, oh man, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do your stuff, do your thing, work your magic, my friend.
Oh, it is my honor, Lisa, to be on your show. This has been a long time waiting. There were several times you requested that you asked me to come on the show. It's difficult, you know, because of the time difference. I'm in Abu Dhabi, UAE, and usually there's that time difference of, depending upon where you are in the States, but it's anywhere between 8 and 12 hours, you know?
Wow, yes. Well, and this is why I'm not going to
your show, right, and then your show, it starts on Sundays at a certain time, and so I work Sunday through Thursday here. Given that we just had daylight savings not too long ago, I literally can this morning go from your show into my work clothes, into my car, and drive off to work. So it's going to work out just fine today, thank goodness.
Hallelujah. I was praying hard, and look, we got you. So I'm not gonna deter you long, and I am going to let them hear about you. So we're gonna drive this car a little fast and slow it down just a tad. All right. What type of work that you do, or what type of work you used to do?
Well, my background is the U.S. Army, and that was the foundation that helped basically foray my current career into the direction that it is now in. And I spent about 5 years in the U.S. Army, and I got out of the U.S. Army in 1998, and it's showing my age, and in El Paso, Texas. So I'm originally from Utah, but I oftentimes say, well, it's kind of hard to say where I'm from when people ask me, because I'm militarily displaced. I'm from Utah, but I really haven't lived there, well, I lived there for a 2-year period from like 2011 almost to the end of midway point of 2013. But because of being in the Army, and then immediately after the Army, my current company, Raytheon, picking me up in El Paso, Texas, I have been working for Raytheon, a major U.S. Missile defense company, since 1999. And Raytheon, because of my field of expertise and where they like to place me on assignments where they need me, and that's been primarily in the Middle East, and that's the reason why I'm in Abu Dhabi, UAE. I've been here since 2013 on this assignment.
Long time assignment. Well, I see you gonna see it through like you see everything else.
Yeah, it's the assignment's renewed every year, and I have my family here with me, so it's a great place to be. The crime rate is low, very, very low here. It's very safe. It's one of the safest countries in the world if you look it up on Google. And they my youngest daughter is 15, Jayla, and my oldest daughter is 20, and she started school at UTEP, going and staying in our home that we own in El Paso, Texas. But last year, once COVID-19 struck, she got in a plane on the next thing, smoking this way, and has been doing an online sort of attendance with UTEP since then.
Oh, okay. So you was one of those military people that moved around a lot, took his family with them. That's good, because you need you no matter what. Trust me. And you did well with this in the job that you have now, But okay, well, how are you keyed in with kidneys? Tell me how you keyed in with kidneys.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I'm not prone, and I haven't actually done an interview like this, except for one other time with Steve Belcher, and this was like 2 years ago. I don't really like talking about myself. I like the topic being on Kidney Warriors that they advocate for, but bottom line is there is a core reason, and I don't forget about that core reason. It's very important to me, the core reason.
Now,
and
if
the connection
private, or if it's bothering you, you don't want that. You don't want nothing to bother you. You know what I mean? And so
no.
I know why your brother got into it. So
right,
I just wanted to put it out there why you're into it.
No, it's perfectly fine. The core reason and connection that I have with kidney disease is my wife, and so atypical, or unlike my wife is very she's very private, and she's an introvert. I got a sister like that. Actually, all right. I tried actually talking her into coming into this interview, but it wasn't gonna fly. She never wanted to get in front of the camera, and so she was diagnosed. My wife, Mimi, that's her nickname. She was diagnosed with kidney disease in 2008, and it was such a mild, silent sort of. It was such a mild, sort of silent illness at first that, and the doctors even then didn't really even emphasize how bad of a disease this was going to be for her. And you always look at things in retrospect and hindsight. And knowing what I do now, I wish I would have had pointed questions for the doctors, like, okay, so what can we do to prevent my wife from reaching stage 5, that end stage? At that point, of course, in 2008, I didn't know that there were 5 stages of kidney disease. And I didn't there were a lot of things we didn't know, you know, and what, for instance, what sort of foods, kidney-friendly foods she could eat that would even prevent her possibly from even reaching stage 5 ever, you know, or and my wife was young, so it was kind of surprising that she was even diagnosed with this, and nobody in her family up until that time had ever been diagnosed with kidney disease or had a history of it. On my side of the family, that's an entirely different story. You know, on my side of the family, diabetes, high blood pressure, gout, all sorts of different problems are very prevalent. Heart disease.
My list is long in my family too, but I ain't mad at you. Preach on. Preach on.
Right. So it came to a point though, unfortunately, in 2014, where she reached end stage kidney disease, and we were here in Abu Dhabi when that happened. It kind of, you know, it shook our world. You know, a lot of sort of truths came to surface that you know, weren't even announced or explained to us before then. You know, what end stage really meant and what that entailed. You know, and then all of a sudden she had to have the minor surgery of having the fistula installed in her left arm, and you know, it was going to take roughly about a month to 3 months to take effect, and then afterwards she would be starting dialysis, and that would hemodialysis in center, and that would mean that she would be doing it 3 times a week at 4 hours a session roughly.
Started out with 4. Woo!
Right. And you know what, it kind of, it struck me really, it struck a chord with me. You know, being the caretaker, trying to do everything that I could to help my wife and watch her go through this on a daily basis. I mean, kidney disease, it really zaps everything out of a person, you know, and it zaps their hope, it zaps their energy, it zaps everything. And then that dialysis, while it keeps them alive, it's only a Band-Aid, and it doesn't improve a person's situation. As a matter of fact, dialysis itself only does roughly 10 to 15% of what a real kidney does. And you know, basically, really, all a dialysis machine does is cleanse, purify the blood, and remove the excess fluids. You know, right?
Yes. Wow.
So all the other things that a kidney does, and all its functionalities, they're still missing. You know.
Sure. That's why you can't miss dialysis. You can't afford to miss it because it's not even doing enough like a real kidney. You need all you could get. Okay. So that was your reason of why you started doing this thing and advocating. You started advocating with her, and it just grew into other people. Is that the story?
Right. So luckily, I had my twin brother to help me out, and it was a tandem team thing for us. And when my wife got, she had her obstacles, and thank goodness in the end, I mean, when I say the end, in 2018, she received a call from Boston Mass General that there was a cadaver kidney for her, and a perfect match. And when I say a perfect match, you know, people say that rather loosely, a perfect match, but it really had to be a perfect match. It really had to be a perfect match for my wife, because she had a 98 PRA rate, panel reactive antibody rate of 98, which meant she had a 2% chance of matching up with the general public. And I mean, that's more or less a needle in the haystack. You're searching for a miracle, and that's the reason why I guess mine and my brother's my wife's story touched people so much, and touched their hearts, because they saw that not only this husband was doing all he could, but then this husband's brother, or the brother-in-law was coming out, and doing live videos, doing whatever they possibly could. When you push someone in a corner, and it means trying to save his wife's life, I'm going to do everything I possibly can, and it doesn't matter. And guess what? It doesn't matter how much I embarrass myself. Well, it takes a lot for me to get embarrassed, by the way, but I'm going to do everything I possibly can.
And you proved
So, yes,
that, both of you, Jared Brown, Jay, that's a good husband.
Right,
You know what I mean? The advocate. I love a good person, a good man. Good husband. Continue.
I couldn't. Well, after my wife had her transplant, we couldn't just stand on the sidelines, so to speak. And people had taken notice to our modalities, or our methods of advocating, and we weren't expecting people to knock on our doors and ask us to help them. It wasn't something we actually even thought about, because our focus was entirely 100% on just finding my wife a kidney donor.
Yeah, sure.
So within a matter of just like a couple weeks, we had like all kinds of people requesting to help them. And I guess that's where it started. And ever since, I couldn't just stand on the sidelines knowing that if I can do something to help these people find a living kidney donor, and I can't just I can't stand on the sidelines and do nothing idly.
No, well, I'm glad you that you broke out and started doing something. You got family members that do that, and you got very little. It's like you said, with the needle in the haystack. Nowadays, I'm seeing more people advocating for their own kidney, friends and family. Like he said, smash that smash button, hit a button or whatever there. I ain't mad at them. Shando Kobo Shay, fantabulous. You rock. That's all I can say is that you rock, and you went all the way out there for your wife, and that's what you got to do. I had a husband like that. You know what I mean? 23 years married, a husband like that wanted to snatch his kidney out and give it to me. That's the only time I heard about perfect match. So I know what you're talking about when you don't hear that kind of thing. But you so busy. Right. How do you get to do all of this stuff? Busy, time zone difference and stuff. How do you have strength or the time or the drive or the zeal to do all of this stuff, man?
Well, I mean, my wife understands my passion, and she understands. I wear my heart on my sleeve about this. Every time I take on something in life, I do it full throttle. I do it 100%, or I don't do it at all. And so you have my commitment, or you don't. And when I commit to advocating for somebody, I look at it from the same perspective that I looked at it from my wife, and that's what I know what she was going through on a daily basis. And then so that I look at it from that perspective. This person is going through those same hardships, and so when I look at it through that lens and that perspective, I look at, okay, so what are the ways then that I can bring attention to this person's need for a living kidney donor? And then some of these ways originally were sort of found out through both my twin brother and myself when we worked together, and that's it. if we kind of package this in a way that we're advertising it like businesses do. I mean, when you're walking down the street, a sign captures your attention, you know. So when you go online to social media, most of the time people go on social media, they're perusing to get amused, you know, to get a laugh. They don't go on social media, or they go on social media for a certain need, and that need normally isn't to find whom they can be a living kidney donor for. You know, people just don't go on social media trying to find people who are in need of an organ. So my purpose in creating posters and videos primarily are to capture people's attention. And then while I'm capturing their attention, I want them to see this need. And my hope always is that God, that through the grace of God, that their heartstrings are tugged, and that they answer the call to action that's in the poster or the video.
You're doing a great job with it. I mean, you put all of those zappy things in there, some words in it, and then you have the actual picture of the person or the person saying something. It will grab me more if I saw, you know, the little baby in need, you know, and you're looking at the little baby and you're looking at all of this action and why they need it. One of them, I think you said the person had 4 kids, you know, or something like that. That stuff will mess with people and want to like automatically make them want to give.
You said something that I'd like to kind of key in on, and that's that with each page that I advocate on. So I try to get to know each and every kidney warrior, you know, their personality, their history. Okay, so it's not only just about their blood type, the transplant hospital contact info, you know, and whether they're doing in-center dialysis or home dialysis. And if it's home dialysis, is it home hemodialysis, or is it PD? I really tried to get to know each and every one of the kidney warriors, and I try to stay in contact with each and every one of them on a regular basis. And when I get to know the person, I try to personalize that post and cater it to that person's personality. Sometimes, as you said, I might talk about how many children that person has, and then in that case, that was Chris Ann Hernandez that you were talking about, or the other day, I was making a poster. Made a poster for.
Oh my thing.
For Andre Foster, and he's a big Superman fan, right? So I make it I made it a Superman based theme, and so if I base it off that person's personality and or talk about that person's life, then there's a connection, there's a familiar connection there.
I like that. When I used to write jingles, I used to have to know something about the person. I said, tell me something about the person, something they likes, their, you know, something fun or some, you know, something about them, so I'll be able to write it or look like I know them, even though I don't. So I love that about you. You put a personal spin and on it. If a person wanted to have you advocate for them right now, or wanted to get in touch with you or talk to you or anything like that, do you have a number or a website, or what's the name of the company?
Well, I mean, I don't have any sort of brand or anything of that nature. Again, I don't like to focus on myself. I like the focus to be on the kidney warriors. And that's why in my background here behind me, you'll see a lot of the Facebook cover photos of the kidney warriors that I advocate for. Each of the Facebook cover photos that I create. So when I create a Facebook page for the Facebook search page, one of the most important things is the Facebook cover photo, because that's what captures your attention when you go to that page. And then the next important thing, which a lot of people don't realize is the profile pic. You know, that profile pic is just as important. But those are the signs for that store that capture your attention. And I try to put as much detail and vibrant colors into these cover photos or in some cases, you know, posters that I create, so they'll capture your attention.
Well, it's eye-catching, trust. It's eye-catching. You know, looking on your page, looking on Jay's page, and I just love it because now the community of kidneys is growing. It's growing so much that, you know, people are writing books. People are doing shows. I remember when there's no shows out there. So I was glad when, you know, Urban Health to do things with Tamika and Steve and stuff like that. I'm like, what? You know, it was a thing, and I met all of you guys, Kent Bressler, you know, Jonathan, the whole family, Uncle Jim. It just went bigger and bigger, and now we are all together. Only love and no competition. You know what I'm trying to say? We all drive in the same way, swim in the same way, you know, but be your best outcome or for what you are doing. What would you like to see happen?
Right.
With what you are
doing? It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see the way the kidney advocacy is growing, the direction and the way it's branching out. Just like anything else, however, I mean, the technology throughout the years since I started has also grown, and with technology means things are easier to do, and it's a lot easier to do things with software than it used to be, which means a lot more people are also doing those things, you know. So about 114,000 people are on the transplant organ list, and of that, what is it, like 98,000 are of those people are kidney warriors waiting for a kidney. So that's a lot of people waiting for the call and waiting for a kidney. So even with all the people that have joined, you know, the forces and kidney donor advocacy, it's still not enough. We need more people, and we need and because more and more people are also going on social media to now, you know, advertise and promote their need, it means I always have to keep my tools sharp and, you know, my skills at all time high, and I can't waste my time. I'm always trying to do improve the craft and do something bigger and better than I did the last time I did it.
Well, you are really improving and sharpening that craft. I wish I knew more stuff myself. I do a little YouTube stuff, but I mean, my life is so long and so busy. It's, you know, sometimes I just hire somebody or do something to help me to do it. I do learn fast and everything, but I had some challenges, you know, this year, you know, with the having COVID and, you know, getting it through family and not on my own and stuff like that, and bone joint disease and all this other kind of stuff. So sometimes it's hard with my focus because I'm a social worker and now I'm a health campaign manager. I said that to say this: I want to give something my best like you and stick to it. You know what I mean? But when you all over the place, it's hard. And look at you, you got to go to work now. I'm not going to keep you long or late. I love your story. I love your wife's story. The brother-in-law, the one who helping us and, you know, helping us tonight producing. I ain't mad at you, Jay, back there. But anywho, what encouraging thing can you say to a person that want to do what you're doing, or a person that may be out there want to get a kidney and just don't know what to do? What tips or little gold nuggets can you drop out there to him or her or them?
Believe it or not, well, the first thing I would do is encourage that person to look at creating a social media platform, and there are several platforms on social media that you can advertise your need, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You've got to start somewhere, and I always suggest Facebook because it's relatively easy to create a Facebook page for kidney donor search. You can do it in a matter of minutes. It's after you create the page and what you do with it. And I'm always willing to help teach people to create a poster or a video on promoting advertising that need. If you go to kidney donor awareness group of ours, and I say ours, I mean mine and Jared's group, that there are a lot of tutorials that Jared and I both have created in that group that teach people how to use some of the software packages that we use to create posters and videos.
That's fantabulous. What? Who knew it was in that group? Don't make me come. You know. Wow.
But I'm always, if you touch base with me privately on Facebook Messenger, on Facebook, I'm also on Instagram, Twitter. I even started TikTok a little bit ago. I'm not too keen on the trendy ways that people create TikTok videos, but if I can upload my video on TikTok and have it be seen on on another social media platform, I'm all for exhausting all resources and ways to advertise.
I did TikTok 2 years ago, and after a while, I couldn't deal with it. I got back off. So maybe some bright idea, something will come. We'll talk. You know what I'm saying? You know, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to? Anybody that you want to, talk about a big or thank or anything like that?
I want to thank God for blessing my wife with a kidney in 2018. I want to thank my wife for her support and for being patient with me. I want to thank I want to give a shout out to all the kidney warriors that I represent. And so it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I go through struggles just like anybody else. And I represent up to 16 different people actively full time. And then there are people that I actually go out on a part-time basis and represent, and I'll create posters or videos for them. If I literally wish that I had more time in the day, that somehow I could squeeze more than 24 hours in the day. There just never seems to be enough time in the day to help all the people that need it. Every day there seems to be somebody contacting me and asking me to help them, and that it's difficult for me to say no, but I'm really stretched really thin right now. I want to give a shout out to every single one of the kidney warriors I represent, and I'm going to go down a list here. I'm going to shout out to Valerie Cartwright, shout out to TJ, a shout out to Andre, a shout out to Ray Ramon Rodriguez, a shout out to Brian Olivas, a shout out to Lucy, a shout out to forgive me, I don't want to miss anybody here, so bear with me here. A shout out to Thelma Warner. A shout out to Chris Acosta. A shout out to Shane Blanchard. A shout out to Shelly Harrison. A shout out to Alex Barrios Jr. And I would also like to give a shout out to Naisha, Nicole Neal, Mark, Reed Capel. It's an honor representing the kidney warriors that I do. I've represented a lot of kidney warriors throughout the years, and it would take a long time to go through it's been truly an honor to do what I do. I receive gratification through this, knowing, if nothing else, Lisa, if nothing else, I can give these warriors a glimmer of hope, and that they're on their way. They're on their way to finding that living kidney donor. And somebody's in their corner.
Yeah.
A lot of times a lot of times these kidney warriors, believe it or not, well, you know how it can be when they're going through all these tribulations that they're wading through, battling kidney disease. A lot of times, their family members and friends themselves do not know exactly what they're going through on a daily basis, and they don't support them sometimes as they should be.
Right. You ain't never
and so
lied.
I'm there to. Right. So I'm there to support them as much as I possibly can. I know what they're going through because I was my wife's caretaker.
Well, this is why I do the show on different angles: the caregiver, the family member, the doctor's point of view, the patient point of view. Because you can be in the same room, but you're not experiencing the same thing. You see one thing, the person sick sees something else, the family member, the children, the husband, the nurse, so everybody got a voice in this thing. And this is why I go through those angles, plus resources. Because going through this, it doesn't only mess with your body, it messes with your mind, sometimes your intellect. It feels hopeless sometimes. So you need anybody that's going to be in your corner, And I see you, boop, 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 you helping them in that corner. Whether you shaking them down, you're going to get that kid. You're going to get that kid. Come on, come out, bow. You're going to get that kidney. Uppercut, pow, smash that kidney disease. Kill it. So I'm not mad at you. I'm proud. You even helped me put some of my shows on YouTube that I couldn't put on YouTube. And that was on Urban Health for a long period of time. I had a young kid, and you helped me for free. So I will never forget your sweet wisdom. And plus me, if you forgot a name, let them know it's a mistake from the head and not the heart. And I want you to be able to drive safe, and I want you to be able to get to work on time. And I appreciate what you do. Whoever you're doing it with, by yourself or with your group, you got it going on. You're a real man, and don't let nobody tell you less than that. You're a real man doing a real thing, and you're making it happen and getting it done. You're not lazy or slowful or sitting on the side. You ain't talking about it. You're being about it. And I ain't mad at you. Come on here, Shondo.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much for the props. I admire you. I got a lot of love for you. I'd be amiss if I didn't give a shout out also to somebody who's working with me now, D'Angelo Crawford, and alongside me through this also is Donna Tassat, who's working with me and collaborating with me to advocate for Reed Capel. Donna is a terrific advocate and friend. Excellent.
Well, I'm glad you're doing what you got to do. Did we miss anything before I end the show? I just got 2 points to make after we say goodnight, and that'll be it. But thank you again. Thank your wife also. If she ever changes her mind, there's always space and room for her to be on the show or to encourage anybody. But don't worry, because I got a lot of family that deal with dialysis, and my sister has been on dialysis 24 years, and I never got her on the show.
Wow.
And she has a dynamic story. And she booked me twice and canceled twice and changed her mind, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I done had, if my other siblings was alive, they would be on the show.
I understand. I've been trying for years to convince my wife to get in front of the camera, and it kind of made things so she was never against using any photos of her, but I could never get her in front of the camera, so it always made things a little more difficult to create videos. We had a lot of videos of me as a result, or my youngest daughter Jayla was always supportive about helping me with my advocacy. She still does today. If I need my my daughter Jayla to help me with the lighting or the cameras, setting things up. I have a full room here, which I call my studio. It's a guest room that I've turned into a studio, a green screen studio. And it also has a closet full of my costumes. Yeah, doing what I do, because I do it on a daily basis, Lisa, I have to keep my posters creative. I have to keep people entertained. And so I have a myriad. Yeah, I have a myriad of software packages that I use, that I draw from. And then I have also a full closet of costumes to get into, whether it's a superhero costume or a Jedi Knight costume. It's all in keeping people entertained.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, if I had a prize or a gift or an award, I would definitely give it to you, and I would definitely give it to so many other people out there. I know it's a thankless job, and you guys don't want anything. None of us do. But, when God blesses us, whichever way he blesses us, take it. All right? So I'm going to say good night to you, and get to work safe, and I appreciate it once again. So
thank you, Lisa.
And that God, guide you all the way there and back.
Real quick, I would be totally amiss if I didn't thank my twin brother for all that he's ever done for me, and for helping me advocate for my wife, and starting this tandem, this advocacy that we did together, we're continuing to do today. I love you, brother. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. The wonderful Brown brothers. I ain't mad at you. Thank you so much. Well, guys, you have heard it, you have witnessed it, and you have saw it. So let me give you this other tidbit information. All right. So the resource for this week is called Habitat Humanities. And they don't only give stuff away, they also take stuff, and they also help people to get things that they would need. And their number is 646-779-8852. Okay. And my next week guest is the famous, wonderful Kidney Boys. Whoop, whoop. Yes. V for victory. And sweetly, even though I'm a little hoarse, I just want to say, because of Easter resurrection, I know it was the blood. I know it was the blood for me. One day when I was lost, Jesus died on that cross, and I know it was the blood for me. I love you, and Jesus love you too. Have a fantabulous week, and good night. Mwah. Blessings.
Brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Ride or die, 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 ride or die. Cody's brothers, my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta ride or die.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah. This is the lead. Lisa, that's the show. Giving you the 411 and the kidney one. About my girl and say, this is